not money. He said, okay, that in that room, I had no chair because the chambers was fully occupied by other lawyers. We had Isiekwe, we have Joe Ibebu, we have Dumebi Chijendo, you have Fred Omenye. So I was floating. I would sit, when they go to court, I will sit in one of the chairs. When they come back, I will go back and sit with Albert, at Albert's, the secretary's side. So that's how I started with OWELLE, with the salary of 150 naira in 1986, which is about maybe about $1,500 now, if we calculate well. So it wasn't a poor amount. So from there, I served OWELLE, and I became a member of the family. Lady Tina was also close to my family, that when OWELLE travels out of Lagos, I will now be the deputy driver. I will go and do school run. I will go and bring Quento from school, bring Gay from school, and then take Madam to Federal Secretariat. That was the relationship. And we continued to be of help to each other, one another. So OWELLE was a father to me, and that's why I swore that I will continue to serve OWELLE, whether in life or in death. He was a good man. May his soul rest in peace. Okay.
I'd like to welcome the presidential candidate, Chief Peter Obi.
No,
Mr. Chief is Chief today. OWELLE has titled him today. Please take a bow. Thank you so much.
Yes, talking about Mr. Peter Obi, let me tell you a story most of you may not know. Sorry. When Dr. Ngige was declared the governor of Anambra State in 1983, the person who was, 2003, the petitioner, the person whose mandate as the court declared was taken, was Mr. Peter Obi. Peter Obi now put a spirited battle, and I was given the task of recruiting the legal team for Dr. Ngige. That was how I brought OWELLE from Lagos to Oka. And then OWELLE stayed in Oka for 32 months. And but OWELLE made a lot of friends while in Oka. That's why you will see Mr. Peter Obi here. OWELLE was gentle, a gentleman. He was, having good relationship. Mr. Obi, if you ask him to pick between OWELLE and me as a good person, he will pick OWELLE. Because I dealt with him in under cross-examination. So OWELLE made friends across board. The Bazos, the OJ Nadis, all they became friends with OWELLE. And I'm sure Bazo and others will come at Ogwashuku. So I'm not surprised that Mr. Peter Obi came, because he knew that OWELLE was a good man. Your Excellency, you are welcome. You are welcome. Are you a good man too? You are a good man.
Another round of applause for His Excellency, Mr. Peter Obi. Like someone said, if we continue to acknowledge every single person here, and if we continue to listen to the stories, we probably wouldn't go home for like a week. I heard someone use an expression to describe OWELLE over there. He said, OWELLE is such a good man. He is so well. And I'm like, where is that in the dictionary? But suffice it to say that he was an excellent person. So, and of course, if we, because of the kind of person OWELLE was, he touched a lot of lives. So, in situations like this, it's difficult to say where relationships start and where they stop. But we must at some time be able to acknowledge who are the inner caucus of this situation. And bearing that in mind, we want to invite Sally Uweche. We want to invite a representative of the Okay.
You want to talk something?
Let speak before you speak.
Okay. It says Peter, we should speak before I speak. We'd like to invite His Excellency, Mr. Peter Obi, to just say a few words before the children, where the children going to speak. I think we would like to honor you to speak before we come on stage, please. Biko, you're a good man. Come and talk about another good man.
Good evening, everybody. Let me most sincerely apologize for coming here late, very, very late. But if anybody knows how to travel in Nigeria, it's impossible. I had a flight for 12:20. It didn't leave Anambra Airport until 4:35. And then when we arrived here, coming here, this is my boarding pass. Coming here is impossible. But I said, I thank God that I was able to meet anybody. I told him, even if I meet NT Hall, that Chief Uweche will know wherever he is, that I had intention to come. Well, I think my dear brother have said everything. I met Chief Uweche for the first time when I was in a petition in Oka. He was supposed to be leading the team against me. But I can tell you, he was a wonderful man. Whenever we come to court in the morning, the first person I will greet is Chief Uweche. Because he will greet you, he will ask you about this, he will say about this and everything. He was a very good, an excellent person. And throughout, from that time, I became close to him. He will call you. Even when I became governor, he will meet you, he will tell you, I hope you will do this, I hope you will do this. Like I always say, people, and one man who can say the judiciary was working, because maybe now they say it's not working. Why do I say so? I got a judgment to become governor, the first in history of Nigeria, without giving anybody 1 naira, without even knowing any of the judges. Got the court of appeal. Got the court of appeal. It was the same thing. I always say people, the person who read the lead judgment, I saw him 2 years after. It was a history report that I saw somebody who came and tapped me from the back and said, if you were not doing well, I've regretted giving judgment in your favor. Eventually, I went to Supreme Court, got interpretation. I've already given up and packed my suitcase and went back to London. And one day my phone was ringing. They said, Supreme Court have returned you. I've never met anybody from Supreme Court. So when I now hear what is happening now, I said, maybe it's a different Nigeria. Because if it was now, there was no way anybody would have listened to me. And people like Chief Uweche were there. And I wonder what he will be thinking about our judiciary today. But it's our country. We have no other country except this one. And we must not bequeath our children anarchy. We must make it work for them. And I'm sure Chief Uweche, wherever he is, will be praying for a better Nigeria, for a better judiciary. Thank you, and God bless all of you.
So without further ado, please allow me to invite Honorable Mrs. Sally Mbanefo to do the introductions and bring up her siblings for blessings and introduction and recognition.
Mrs. Ifoma Wechue. Wachuku. Where is she? Not there.
I don't know where they went to, so let's just not keep the Royal Highness waiting. Let's continue.
My brother, Junior George Wechue.
Go ahead, just go ahead. I'll make you brief, Makadi Kings.
He's the only granddaughter from Switzerland, representing all the grandchildren. My daughter, Chantal Mbanefo. Ciao. Let me give my speech first. Okay. Gabriela. Let me give my speech first. Dr. Gabriela Mwobu, please welcome her. She's coming. Our youngest sister. I'm the eldest, she's the youngest. 15 years gap. And before her is Mrs. Ifoma Wachuku. Please welcome her all the way from the United States of America. And Dr. Gabriela Wechwe Nwobu, dental surgeon, all the way from the United States of America. And our sister in the middle, Mrs. Mwamaka Omole. Omole! All the way from London. We have one more member.
He's not here.
He's still on the way from America. And he has landed. Yes, and he has landed. There's also a young and special uncle of ours who just flew in all the way from Abuja to be here. He is Barrister Paul Uwechwe, the youngest of the siblings. He was not introduced earlier, but he's popularly known as Paulo. He's also a lawyer. Paulo. He's supposed to be our uncle, but he's our brother also. So everybody's here. So just one member is not here, and that is Dr. Quento, who is a professor of philosophy and in Delaware, America. Really? Okay. Yes. Okay, Chantal would like to come and speak on behalf of the grandchildren, then we'll just finish. Come. Please welcome her.
Thank you very much for everyone who's been able to be here. This is an impromptu speech, so I thank you for bearing with me. I'm here to represent all of the grandchildren, 14 grandchildren, and one great-grandchild that arrived only a few months ago in August. Little Miss Zaya Mbanefo. As the only grandchild who was able to be here, some of my fondest memories of Grandpa OWELLE were going over to his house in Dolphin Estate. He would always be in such a chuckling energy, always so smiling, always so loving. He'd always welcome us into his living room and invite us to watch TV. He'll always give us the remote control and let us know that here you're in control. Watch whatever you please, enjoy your food, drink whichever soft drink you enjoy. My brother recently reminded us to what extent there wasn't one visit that we would have when we'd go over to his place where we'd enjoy some good swallow and he'll never forget to put some Maggi on that table. Maggi sauce, absolutely. As my brother rightfully remembered, it doesn't matter the meal, it doesn't matter whether there's anything else on that table or not. That Maggi needs to be present. And he taught my brother, and as well as all of us, what it means to be a man and what it means to be a stable adult within the family, to have that Maggi sauce always stable, no matter what. My brother always loved to cook good, delicious steak for Grandpa. My brother is a chef-to-be and chef at heart, and he's the chef of the family. And Grandpa used to love his meals as well as his steak, specifically. So Grandpa, wherever you are, I'm sure you're chopping some sweet, sweet steak cooked at the perfect temperature like Yannick always did it. So I'm here to represent all of the grandchildren, and I thank you all for being here. I'll leave it to the children. Thank you.
Thank you, Chantal. Yes. Grandpa OWELLE, he was popularly known as. Our father, I will be speaking on behalf of all because very important people are getting ready to leave. They've come from far and wide. On behalf of Ifoma, after me, then Junior, then Wamaka. Why is she in the corner? Max, the Londoner. Gabriella, then our uncle. Uncle Paul, come forward. And our brother Kwemto, and myself. OWELLE was an esteemed lawyer. One of the things we all agree on is that he was a loving, a caring. He was very patient. He was very passionate about his family. OWELLE would leave Lagos, go to America, visit her in Michigan, Detroit, visit her in North Carolina, visit her in London. Of course, Junior and I are here. And he'll visit us here. He spent quality time with all his children, and he made sure that we all felt loved by him. We have other members of the family that when they died, their children did not honor them the way they ought to have done, in spite of the fact that their father sacrificed so much for them, sent them all to all the best schools in Europe. They all had PhDs. Yet, as simple as we all are with our first degrees, our father created quality time with us. He wasn't just passionate about us. He was passionate about his sister-in-law and all his brother-in-laws. He was passionate about his neighbor. What S.A. and Fabian was saying, our father must have signed the largest number of law forms. People see us, and he has all our pictures there. So they knew us by our pictures. Oh, your father signed. He always had an open door policy. And that's how he was with us. He was our friend. He was our brother. And above all, he was our father. Yes. And one of the things people may not talk about is the fact that our dad was the best cook, isn't it? He used to cook Indian every Saturday. In the 70s, for many years, nobody cooks. He'll put an apron, he'll make a pure Indian food, and then he'll ring the bell.
She used to ring the bell.
She used to ring the bell.
I used to ring the bell.
For many years, as busy as he was, he created quality time for us. So we'd like to just, on behalf of my brothers and sisters, just say a big thank you to all of you. As busy as you are, as engaged as you are in your own personal lives. Thank you for taking the time to come here to be with us. Thank you for sharing our father with us. He's also your father. And you know that what the priest said today is, he's not gone. All our loved ones who are out there, they're still living. But they live in our hearts as long as we keep praying for them. That was his last wish. He hugged me and held me and kept saying to me, pray for me, pray for me, pray for me. That was the night before he left. And I never forgot that. And I remember saying to Mrs. Akweme, my friend, I said, do you know, Auntie, the way my dad was talking to me in the morning, I think he was saying goodbye to me. And the next day, he was gone. Junior was running around, getting an ambulance. My brothers and sisters, Ife and Kwemto, they flew in from America as soon as I heard there was a problem. Thank God you did. We're all worried about him. But that's because he was a caring father. What you give out comes back to you. He paid his dues with each and every one of us. And today, we're honoring him. We're thanking him for giving us an opportunity to have been his children. It's a big deal to us. And we honor our father. And we say, thank you, Daddy, as we thank all of you for being here today. Thank you very much.
So, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, we invite Dr. Mrs. Helen Ekweme to pray for the children, bless them on behalf of the elders, the mothers, the fathers that are here, so that we can now close at 8 sharp. It's a minute to 8. Yeah, Royal Majesty, we thank you for your patience.
Can I have the privilege to stand here? Because as I tell everybody now, I recently joined the 8th floor. I'm now a member of the 8th floor. I think I can do things my way. I want to thank you all. But before I say this prayer, I think maybe I should have been called to say something about the clients. My late husband, Dr. Alex Ekweme, was one of the clients. Very good friend of his, very, very good friends. They go a very long way. But I'll just tell you one thing, just one little thing that happened. He had a case in court, and the case is about a building on Unicon here. More than 10 years in court. That case was not going anywhere. The building was dilapidated, everything was bad, it was all going. And he got his friend, they were discussing. Judge said, okay, you are a lawyer, I'm a lawyer, you have to engage me. You engage me properly. They were laughing and all, and sipping some champagne as usual. So, to cut the long story short, Judge took up the matter, and it's this open door, this arbitration. He just told him, Alex, let's do this thing arbitration. To cut the long story short, Judge was able to settle a case that went on and on for 10 years, and everybody was losing money. He helped his friend. His friend became his client, but he was the quintessential lawyer, quintessential professional, the gentleman to the core. That is, in all our dealings with him, I can give this testimony. We've known Saleh. Oh, I just say one more thing. You see, I'm on the 8th floor, so I can take some privileges. Just a month before he passed on, because, as you said, Saleh is very close to me. I take her as my little daughter. She kept worrying and worrying. So one day she said, oh, you know, my dad is with me at her lovely penthouse building here on Gerard Road. I've just got some Indian food. I said, oh, let me see him. I haven't seen him a long time. So I went there, and as usual, we were talking, and Sally just left us and disappeared, because you know she's a fanatical Catholic. She had to go to mass and all sorts of, whatever you went to. So I was there, and the quintessential storyteller. So I got the story. I just share this story with you. Very, very interesting story about the same London School of Economics, how he got there. But he said, okay, somebody told him he has to go there and all that. And do you know when he got to that place, he met this lovely lady, this beautiful lady, and she melted in his arms. And the result is Saleh. And the result is Saleh. And he went on and talked about his life. And the whole story went on. He wasn't putting on any, it wasn't fictional, the correct thing. And I took my time, as if it was the last time. I stayed with him, and we talked and talked. And he reminisced about his relationship, his friendship with my late husband, with the family and all. So I just want to add that this man we are all here to honor is the quintessential gentleman. And he got a quintessential daughter. The 2 days after he passed, we belong to a group here in Ikoyi. Most of the ladies are there. We are a fitness group. We exercise. We do aerobics. Saleh is one of them. We went to pay her a condolence visit. And what I said there, I said, Saleh, you are the quintessential daughter of a quintessential gentleman. She loved her father. She looked after him. The last 3 months of his life, Sally was not herself. Auntie, hey, this is happening. Oh, do we have to do this? I said, take it easy. The last 2 days we were together, I said, Sally, because I'm a doctor, and I was a bit, I knew exactly the diagnosis and what was happening. I said, Sally, let's go, let God. Just add a D to the let's go, and it becomes let God. He's a man of God. You have to take it. But she wasn't taking it. She wasn't even listening. Oh, we are going to St. Nicholas. There is one radiologist. Oh, there is this. And she went on. And we continue to pray. But the good Lord has taken him. And I think he's resting in the bosom of his maker. My prayer today, our prayer, all of us, is that God, in his infinite goodness, will look after all of you, his children. God will be with all of you. You are all here together. You have a lovely older sister who I'm sure some age gaps and all that. You have to be together. You have to be together. Because that is the only legacy you will give your dad. And I'm sure in his lifetime, he tried his best to put you all together. That love you have for your father, I pray that the good Lord will make that love be with you and transcend, encompass all of you together. All of you. I think there are 6 of you from what I could see in the picture. The good Lord will be with you. His soul will rest in perfect peace. The soul of George Wechwe will rest in perfect peace and rise in glory. That's our prayer. Amen.
I just want to say a special thank you to my personal friends, the representative of the Oni of Ife. They're my very good friends since my time as DG. When I go to Ife, I got a title from the Oni of Ife. He called me the Moremi of Ile Ife. That's my title from there. And my very good friend, Are Kakamfo, Otumba Gani Adams. Iba. These are friends I made in my time as Director General of Tourism. They honored me so much, and it's a great honor to have you. And finally, I'd like to thank Senator Daisy Danjuma. She came here to honor my father and to be here as a big sister for me. She came very early, stayed a little bit, and she left. So I'd just like to thank her for also honoring us here today. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank everybody for making our time to come. On behalf of the planning committee, we want to thank everybody from Her Royal Majesty, the family members, the old boys, the benchers, the senior advocates, the clients, and the Ogwashuku community, the Catholic Lawyers Association, Otuokiwu. We thank you all for making the Night of Tributes for OWELLE a grand success. The ceremony continues. It moves to Asaba. Next Thursday, a special court session will be held by the bench and bar in Delta State in honor of OWELLE. And in the evening, there will be a wake in his country home at Ogwashuku in Aniocha South local government. And the following day, 26th of January 2024, will be the Requiem Mass again for OWELLE, after which interment will follow. We continue to ask for your prayers as the family go through the funeral obsequies for our late OWELLE. Thank you very much. We thank the media, Cogito, and other service providers, the event planner, Madam Nose. We thank you for the planning for this event. Superb, excellent. Thank you, everyone. and journey messages as you go back to your various home. Good night. Kojito, you can put the documentary as we now get ready to go. Okay. The senior advocates here, the benchers and the Bar Association, the Deputy Director General of Nigerian Law School said that she has some cola for you. So if you can wait, you may take the cola. Tell Mr. Tere.